everyone, this is an informal video. It's optional, and I recorded it for those of you who manifested an interest in the differences between job engagement and organizational engagement. This is something that came out of my research on engagement a while back, also a review of literature on the differences between job and organizational engagement. Some of it came from an article by Alan Sachs a while back, but the model is my own. So I'm going to call this model the ladder model of engagement. So here we go. First of all, let me see if this works. Let me just refresh our memories on the differences between job engagement and organizational engagement. Job engagement means a deep connection between who you are and what you do. So if I use myself as an example, it would be my engagement with being a professor. Whereas organizational engagement, it has to do with my deep connection with where I do it. So in my case, it would have to be a deep connection between me, my values, my thoughts, my beliefs, who I am, what I want to do, and my place of work, which would be Barry University. Okay, so job engagement, organizational engagement. Do they usually go together? Yes. If you look at the research, the correlation is pretty high between the two. But it's possible for somebody to be low in job engagement, high in organizational engagement, vice versa, or there are different positions in here. Okay, so imagine two ladders side by side, and imagine that one of them has to do with the job engagement and the other one has to do with the organizational engagement. So let's look at the first position that I will call an unproductive fan. What I'm calling an unproductive fan is somebody whose engagement in the job is really low, as in that person does not feel connected at all with what they do. However, they're pretty engaged with the organization. They like where they work, and it's not only a matter of liking, because remember that engagement and job satisfaction are two different things. But it's possible that the person does totally the wrong thing for them, but the organization itself fills them with pride. The organization itself is one that shares their values. So in their case, they would be very high in organizational engagement, and they might be very, very well-intentioned, but that job drains their energy. It drains their soul. So that's why it's hard for that person to be very productive, even if that person has a very high work ethic. Obviously, I'm generalizing. It really depends on the situation, but you get what the idea is. So then a possible solution in this case would be to try to see if that person can be better used somewhere else, because there's probably something that energizes that person, not what the person is doing right now. The next position, which I'm calling a productive flight risk, this is one that organizations really need to pay attention to, because in this case, you have high job engagement. The person feels deeply, deeply connected with what they are doing. What they're doing is exactly what they were born to do. When they start doing it, the time stops because they're so focused on what they're doing, but they really don't feel connected to the organization at all. There could be something to do with the organization's values that don't match their own. There is something going on. Honestly, a lot of times this comes from the leadership. And then what it's creating is a productive flight risk. These are precisely the people that you don't want to lose. But guess what? That organization right there, it's about to lose some very productive people. Next, I'm going to call it just cruising. Just cruising, that person does not feel engaged to either the job or the organization. So why is that person still there? There could be 1,000 reasons. Maybe the person is close to retirement. It doesn't make sense for them to leave anymore. Maybe it's a situation in which they don't have other opportunities. Believe it or not, sometimes it's because the person is highly satisfied with some aspects of the organization, but it's more about job satisfaction than connection. So, for example, let's say that the organization pays much higher than average, and now it's really difficult for somebody to leave, even though they're totally disengaged with what they are, at which point you would have somebody who will be disengaged and stay. Another way to look at these people is that they've left, but they're still there. Okay, so in that case, you really need to understand what's going on. It's probably a variety of reasons stemming from what's going on with the leadership, what's going on with the organization, what opportunities does the person have to move to somewhere else or to do something else, but clearly something needs to be done here. And finally, fully engaged. That's just what the doctor ordered. That's what you would like to see, in which somebody is high in organizational engagement and high in job engagement. Make myself bigger here. Okay. Keep in mind that engagement is not a constant phenomenon. Nobody is fully engaged all the time, neither with their jobs nor with their organizations. All of us at some points in time feel disconnected to what we do or to where we do it. The point is, on average, in general, where are you? And from an organizational perspective, from a leadership perspective, in general, where are your followers? Where are your employees? And if you don't know, it's probably time to find out. All right, I hope you enjoyed this very brief video. I hope it's helpful to you.